And welcome back to the Old Boys Dynasty Football Podcast. Ryan, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. We hope you missed us over the last 2 weeks. We missed despite, busy schedules, but I hope we're as happy to, be back than you are for us to be back as well. But, back to another sit show. Week 10. So we're getting into the grind for either the playoffs or, not, I guess. But yeah, bye weeks this week. Tough, all high-powered offense. We got the Chiefs, Rams, Eagles, Dolphins. So gonna miss a lot of those star players this week. So we're here to kind of fill those gaps in for you.
Yeah. Also, sorry about the pushback. Dinner reservations didn't go as planned. But
there were no dinner reservations.
With no dinner reservations yet. Hold on. All right. Tweet posted. Welcome up, everybody. I'll let everybody get in here, get acclimated and get settled in. Yeah, we were supposed to start at 9. We're going to run into Leo's show or Alex's show, so I apologize for that.
Yeah. Sorry, Alex.
We didn't have this planned, so we apologize for that.
Yeah.
Start sit. We're back for another episode. Last time we were in here, we had over 600 viewers in. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. But let's start off, Ryan. You got any tough decisions this week?
Oh, I was gonna kind of just cover the Thursday night game that just happened. Just for a little buffer game. But I mean, I guess given it's Bears and Panthers, how much is there really to say? The only thing that kind of bothered me was I kind of expected with the Bears defense being so bad, they allowed the most passing touchdowns so far in the season. I expected Bryce to get in there and kind of get the job done and kind of have a big week like it did a few weeks ago. It didn't happen. They only put up one touchdown, which was a kick return. So it wasn't even Bryce Young that threw it. So that was a little disappointing. Tough Thursday night matchup.
Not a whole lot of high-powered offense, as we can tell. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Bryce Young under 200 yards again. As a team, 43 rushing yards. I think the only positive thing I saw in the game, Deontay Foreman had a kind of revenge game, quote unquote, 80 yards, touchdown. Then DJ Moore, third straight game under 65 yards. So
that's probably a lot more to do with Justin Fields being out than anything else. But yeah, it's tough out there to be a Bear or a Panther. Really, they're both like you said at the top 1-2. I'd imagine in the draft order.
But Tyson Bagent 2-2 in his NFL career as a starter. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is wild. It
is wild. It's pretty cool. But yeah, any tough start-sit matchups? Anything you want to talk about?
Do you have any off the top of your head? I kind of have to go through some of mine. I think
I got a couple of leagues where I'm without T. Higgins, which is a little rough, to be honest with you.
True.
So
I'm in a blood situation.
It came down to Amari Cooper against the Ravens or Chris Godwin against the Titans here. Titans 20th in the league against the pass. Pretty exposable against the pass. Although we all know that Mike Evans is Baker Mayfield's number one option. He sits at wide receiver 13 on the season. Chris Godwin hasn't cracked the top 30 yet. He's had a couple games here, but nothing that screams Chris Godwin should be a top 25 play consistently.
No. But I mean, then again, he's just consistent. That's all he really ever has been. I mean, every once in a while, have those games where he'll blow the top off at 25 points, but for the most part, he's sitting in that 10, 15 range.
Yeah, so it just it scares me a little bit on that notion. I got to lean Amari Cooper with AFC North game. Should be a good game. Deshaun Watson back. Looked pretty good last week. I'm gonna leave him to Amari Cooper here. Although I like the enticing matchup with the Titans.
Yeah. I got to probably stick with it. But yeah, no, actually my toughest one, I was just going through a few of my leagues. The toughest one I have for decision-wise is Brandon Ayuk against the Jaguars, or once again, Amari Cooper at Baltimore. Right now, I have Cooper in. I might switch. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it.
I might
Because
go.
they're both playing middle of the pack pass defenses, so it's like, I don't know.
Might lean Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth all week, man. Really, I have. It's just Debo being back. I don't know how much that takes away from Ayuk, but you still got mouths to feed, because now that Debo's back, it's Debo, CMC, Ayuk, and Kittle. So it's like, which ones are going to be this game? You know what I mean?
We'll see. I mean, I like Ayuk. I always have. Ayuk.
I'm a big Ayuk guy. I think Ayuk's better than
Ayuk's dominator rating, his win against man coverage, things like that. Like, there's a lot of peripherals that stand out with Ayuk. Ayuk is ascending into an elite status wide receiver on a per individual basis. Unfortunately, he plays with an offense that's loaded with a plethora of weapons.
Yeah,
but I like Ayuk. I'm always going to say I like Ayuk.
Right. We did have a question from Gerald. I'm so sorry. I hope that
it was at 9. Yeah,
I'm going to catch it. It was a 9:01. He was
here. One here. So as the views start coming in, as the people start coming in, guys, start sit show. If you have anything, let's
drop them down.
Half PPR. Choose one running back, one wide receiver, one flex. Kirk, Deontay, Debo, Mixon, and Gibbs. All right. So for a fact here, I'm taking Deontay as my wide receiver start. Fact here for sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't love Kirk against the 49ers. Really, anybody against the 49ers, to be honest with you. And I think, like, as far as running back flex, I think I go Mixon, Gibbs, however you want to start them in.
This is tough, man. So the question comes to this. What is the workload for Gibbs now that Montgomery's back?
That's always the argument, because he was very successful without Montgomery. I mean, he kind of became who we wanted him to be. I think he'll earn that 50-50 split. We kind of covered in our last podcast how I would think that they would kind of get more towards a 50-50 split instead of more like a 70-30 or 80-20 like they had in the beginning of the season. We'll see how Dan Campbell and coaching staff is going to feel, but I got a lot more faith with Gibbs going forward now than I did before.
Yeah, I'm going to go running back Mixon, Deontay, wide receiver, flex. I mean, Dan Campbell said he's going to get some more burn. We did talk about Gibbs on Tuesday. Running back 3, running back 1, back-to-back finishes without Montgomery. Has he earned that right?
You would hope.
They want to be a run-first team. They do.
Yeah.
But when you look on it and you have Amon St. Brown and Sam Laporta playing the way they're playing, with mixtures in of their other wide receivers that are beneficial to this offense, I don't know what they are. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, and Montgomery is going to score.
You think he gets into the end zone? No problem?
Yes. It just comes down to the fact of this. How many touches are we going to get from Jahmyr Gibbs? Because it's not going to be in the red zone.
No. It'll be a lot through the air, and he'll get like third downs, maybe a little bit more than that, I would imagine now. But I mean, I think he could be successful with anywhere between 12 and 17 touches and still be just fine.
From what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, I lean Gibbs. But I want
who are you considering? I mean, it seems that you're kind of fighting yourself. Like, if it wasn't Gibbs, who would it be?
I want to take Debo.
Debo?
But I'm going to take Gibbs.
Debo's tough. I kind of do expect the Jags to, the 49ers to put up points against the Jaguars, but I got a feeling about Gibbs going for it. I wasn't even really a Gibbs guy, like, going up to it. You can ask Steven, like, yeah, sure, he's a fine prospect, but David Montgomery always scared me.
He's a beast, bro. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Let's do this one.
Jacob. Thanks for the question, Jacob.
Oh, brother. Buys and injuries put me in a tough spot for my flex. Roll with Khalil Shakir or pick up OBJ, Rondale, Trenton Irwin, or Robert Woods. Whew.
This is a 16-team league, so you kind of expect that to get at this point in the season with injuries. So that's not really like.
I'm gonna be honest.
I gotta imagine you can't be the only one in a bind in that league.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The week to play Odell was last week. Finally got his first touchdown, birthday week.
Yeah.
Again, OBJ is hurt, questionable not to play. Trenton Irwin. To be honest with you, we're still waiting on the status of Jamar Chase. So yeah,
that's not heard. Chase is probably he wants to go, probably gonna go, but still up in the air.
I don't know, bro.
I get it. I get T. Higgins being out opens up a window for Irwin, but not something I'm like gonna be happy to start.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've been rather impressed with Khalil Shakir's usage here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis seems to have disappeared. I mean, obviously it's heavy dosage Diggs, heavy dosage Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah.
But Khalil Shakir has been a rather interesting, sneaky play. I'm not going to suggest Rondale Moore or Robert Woods. So let's go. Let's break down Shakir here.
I think he's fine with Shakir. My only worry is, like, I guess it goes for like any of these guys, but like you never know when the bottom is going to fall out from like Khalil Shakir because he has been involved the last few weeks, but like.
And it's not okay. So it's not heavy target volume. It's really not. It's just deep plays through the air. I mean, any guy that's averaging over 15 yards per catch it's tough to talk about it. But I think I'm going to lean Shakir over OBJ. Those are my two options here.
I lean to Shakir. I'm going to kind of chalk it up as like a one-off week for OBJ. I don't really see him having performed too many more performances like that this year. He's way past his prime. I'm starting Khalil Shakir. Like I said,
I'll be honest with you.
It's just one of those situations where it's like,
I'll be honest with you. There's not many weeks where Zay Flowers is only going to draw one target. Let's be honest.
True. That too, yeah.
So, need 2 wide receivers and 2 flexes out of these guys. Olave, Dell, Jason. 2 wide receivers.
So it's basically which wide receiver are you sitting?
No Nico, too.
Yeah, no Nico. So Tank Dell gets, I think, that's what I was getting ready to say. I think Tank probably stays in.
Stroud and Burrow. Good game. But heavy dosage. Deontay is back. Deontay looks really good, even though we don't look really good. I think Deontay is one of the wide receivers here. To be honest, it's Deontay's. I'm playing Deontay.
Yeah, I'm starting Deontay. That's tough. I picked up Keaton Mitchell in every league I could, hoping that he would get that turn. I don't expect him to do what he did last week. I feel comfortable putting him on my bench. Same thing with Fournette. So I think for me, it comes down to which receiver, like which 3 receivers what receiver am I going to sit?
I'm starting receivers here. To be honest with you, I'm going across the board. I'm going across the board here. Deontay, Olave, Tank Dell.
Yeah, okay. I'm on the same page. I was going to let you get your spiel out, but I think for me, I think it's just sit the running backs, give it a week. If they continue to do it, then starting out next week. But I think Deontay, Olave, Tank Dell, especially without Nico Collins. Now, if Nico's playing, things would probably change. But Stroud Burrow is going to be a shootout.
It should. I mean, the Bengals defense is not very good. We all know that.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of pieces, but a lot of people have stepped up in situations. Awuzie is back as well, playing. He was back last week, starting to play more minutes or play more snaps and reps and things like that after his knee injury. I mean, they've had guys just step up in terms of when they needed to step up. Losing Jesse Bates and Von Bell, I thought would hurt them a lot more than what it's shown me. But yeah, it's the wide receivers, but also Keaton Mitchell and Fournette, great stashes at the running back position.
Great stashes. Yeah.
Great stashes. With the way James Cook has played, I think this is Fournette's time. Also, Fournette will be the best pass catching option when it comes to that, and being a 3-down back and pass protection. Fournette will be the best running back on this roster. And Keaton Mitchell look good. Undrafted guy who I think will get some more burn, even behind Justice Hill and Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Still from George. Thanks.
Yep, George. 12-man. I'm 8-1. Shoo. Congratulations. Tua, CMC, Ken, Cup, Waddle, and Olave. Bench, Dell, Deontay, JSN, Keaton, Warren, Fournette, and Quentin. Should I trade Olave for A-Shane or Rashad White? It comes down to the volume for me. Rashad White, obviously, in between the tackles guy, his rushing efficiency doesn't look good, but he's involved in the receiving game heavily, getting a lot of touches. I mean, there's no competition behind him with Sean Tucker or Keyshawn Vaughn, to be honest. A-Shane coming back from a knee injury. A-Shane was special before it. Raheem Mostert has continued to play well in this offense. I don't expect A-Chain to – what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't expect him to start slow, but it's a possibility. Knee injury is hindering. I mean, that's tough. It's tough to sit out for 4 weeks with a knee injury and just jump back into the mix.
Yeah. Well, I think it comes down to, like, I wouldn't – here's where I'm at with it. I wouldn't typically advise trading Olave, but at 8-1 with the running back situation you have, it's CMC and, like, Kenneth Walker starting to worry me. Charbonnet's finally starting to eat into his workload. And with Keaton, Warren, Fournette being, like, the backup options at running back, I would maybe make the move for A-Chain and just kind of hope, because, I mean, A-Chain was a monster.
I'm going to be honest with you, though, too. You haven't gotten what you thought you were going to get from Kupp and Waddle yet. Obviously, Kupp's had 2 breakout games, but then he's had 3 games under 10 fantasy points. Waddle sits outside the top 25 wide receivers as well. So the thing is this. The thing comes to this. Olave, again, top 5 in the league in air yards. Again, he's getting the looks at times. But then you have to worry about how many targets Alvin Kamara gets, things like that. That comes into effect.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd rather trade Waddle than trade Olave right now.
That's crazy. I think coming down to it, if you're 8-1 still balling, I think I kind of just waited out. I mean, obviously you're doing something right? It's not PPR, so I would imagine CMC is doing a lot of heavy lifting for you there.
True.
I think
but it is non-PPR. Running backs are king in non-PPR.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could do a Waddle for A-Chain swap, yes. I'd rather keep Olave over Waddle currently.
I have no comment on that. I think I'm holding, if I'm being honest. But if you are going to trade, the upside for Olave is there, but I don't think Derek Carr's it. So
yeah, I'm going to trade Waddle before Olave first, to be honest. Taysom, Bijan, and Gibbs. Whoo! Taysom has been a sneaky monster.
Sneaky. Whoo! He's been not so sneaky the last 3 weeks, man. He's been early and active every game.
It sucks to say this.
Took 7 weeks, but he's here.
It sucks to say this too, man, because like I can't. It's Arizona week. I can't sit Bijan against Arizona. I can't. You drafted him in the first round, my man. You can't sit Bijan.
Can't sit Bijan.
It's Arizona week, dude. We're talking about a team allowing over 135 yards on the ground. I don't care if he gets 12 touches. Carson, man, I'm telling you, Bijan has to be in your lineup.
I think you start your studded. you start the stud. The comments that Arthur Smith had to say about
Carson, it's not Bijan's fault. It's not.
It's not. He's the better running back, and you can listen to what Arthur Smith has to say about Tyler Algier, or you can look at the numbers and clearly see that Bijan's the superior back. Eventually, have his week. The fact that he only has one rushing touchdown so far, definitely concerning. Definitely.
So it comes down to Taysom Hill. That's a tough question.
You would have asked me this 6 weeks ago, but I told you crazy for starting Taysom Hill. But I think right now I'm probably starting Hill and Bijan.
4 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks.
I mean, let's be honest. Kamara's not that
the
red.
Lions play who? The Chargers.
Yeah. So that's a shootout, I would imagine.
Oh man. And the Saints play who? The Vikings. Oh my god. Both prime matchups too. I'm gonna go with Gibbs. I'm gonna go with Bijan and Gibbs. Going with Bijan and Gibbs, guys. It's tough.
It's tough.
It's a good question. Taysom's played really well, but I'm going to go with Bijan and Gibbs. Oh, sorry. Missed Garrett's question. Flex Douglas or Jerry Jeudy this week? Colts and Pats in Germany. Broncos Bills.
Those international games always scare me for matchups because you never know what you're going to get. Teams seem to play different on the other side of the hemisphere here. I don't have much stock in Mac Jones or the Patriots offense at all, nor the Broncos, to be honest. Russell Wilson's still Russell Wilson, but I still think I'd take the better receiver here and just run with Jeudy. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Juju kind of saw a step up last week, so I think we're going to see a little bit of a mix between Douglas. Whoa.
What are you doing?
And Juju.
Are you all right?
Take this one. I got to figure this out. My computer's.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jeudy too. It's tough. I don't like either offense. I don't like the matchup for either one, to be honest with you. I don't like the international games. It puts a lot of it's different. I'm gonna go with Jeudy on this one. 2 stud wide receivers on bye, so starting 3 running backs. Sit 1, Rashad White, Javonte, Ramondre, or Monty off injury Gibbs usage. Sit 1. Javonte is starting for me.
Montgomery's starting.
So it comes down to Rashad White or Ramondre. So we got the Colts matchup, and then we have the Titans matchup. That's tough. Ramondre looked good last week. Really good.
Ramondre is coming back to life.
Yeah, Ramondre did look really good last week.
I'm not a big Rashad White person to begin with. I say sit Rashad White. Yeah, Steven might tell you otherwise, but with Ramondre starting to come into his own again, Montgomery's off of injury for sure. I get it, but he's still going to get those high point touches.
I'm going to sit Rashad White here, and I know we can talk about the volume too. Great, the receiving volume is great, but Ramondre is also a great receiving back as well. Rashad White looks really pedestrian in between the tackles when it comes around the ball. I'm going to sit Rashad White. Ooh. Drop Gus for Connor.
Sony, my man. There's got to be somebody else you could drop.
I'll be honest with you, man. It comes down to the fact that a lot of running backs are showing more juice in the Ravens offense.
Yeah.
Like Keaton Mitchell last week looked explosive with his touches. Justice Hill at times has looked explosive. But Gus has 7 rushing touchdowns in the last 3 games.
That's what I'm getting at. And I get James Conner has that same upside, especially with Kyler coming back.
He does. And he looks really good at times. I mean, at one point last year, he was running back 7 in fantasy points per game.
Yeah.
He was a monster, especially down the stretch without Kyler. But injuries, man, off IR, I think I'd hold. To be honest, I think I'd hold.
If he's still in here, is there anybody else you could drop other than Gus? I think I kind of hold Gus too, just because he's so heavily involved in that offense. He seems to have these sprees every year, and I'm kind of riding that out until I see the wheels die off.
Yep.
To be honest with you,
you got to remember, man, Keaton Mitchell is an undrafted rookie. Gus is a veteran in this offense, has been around for a long time. Keaton Mitchell, his touches came late in game. It was a 37-3 game, negative game script for Seattle. Obviously, you're not playing your starters in a 37-3 game. So take that for what you want. Gus was on the field for the most important snaps of the game. Two questions, one question. Heavy touchdown scoring format, Gus Edwards or Tony Pollard. Second question, full PPR, pick two of these three, Addison, JSN, Dotson. Dude, Pollard looks bad.
Pollard looks rough. I hate to say it, but I think he needed Zeke, man. I don't think he was ready for that full workload yet. Ravens run that heavy run offense between Lamar and Gus, and I get that Keaton Mitchell was kind of running up. But like Steven just touched on, that was in late game, trash time, garbage time yards for Keaton Mitchell.
But I really do not like the matchup for Gus this week. Cleveland is
tough. Yeah, they don't give up any yards.
Give me the matchup with the Giants. Give me the divisional matchup. I like Pollard here. Two of the three.
Yeah, Browns give up 89.8 rushing yards per game.
I'll be honest with you. I think this next question is pretty easy for me for the second. I'm taking Addison.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I forgot Cowboys were playing the Giants. Yeah, give me Tony Pollard. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And the next the two wide receivers for me, extreme usage in the last 2 weeks. Give me Jahan Dotson. Give me Jordan Addison. Extreme usage. Extreme for Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. I'm cool with it. I kind of still on the fence between JSN and Jahan, but look at the usage. I mean, we've got to see JSN really, truly break out, so I'd rather hold for that. So,
and you're also looking at Sam Howell sitting at QB6 in fantasy points per game, guys. Sam Howell secretly balling. Just
secretly balling.
James Cook for Waddle. Wow, you pulled that off. That's absolutely amazing.
Because I picked up for that. Yeah, great move there, bud.
Yeah, great move.
Way to really buy in on a panic on Waddle.
Garrett, Olave, Ridley, Javonte.
Start three. So we're sitting one here.
Olave definitely starting.
Yep.
Starting Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'm looking at between Ridley and Javonte.
Ridley, Javonte. What Calvin Ridley am I gonna get?
You never know. The Bills give up 114 rushing yards per game. So they're kind of in the bottom half in defense. But then again, like you just said, you never know what Ridley you're really gonna get. Me personally, I hate starting people that are kind of up and down. I don't love it. I thought Garrett Wilson out there and Olave for sure, just because of just talent alone. Every time I say sit Ridley, he goes off. That being said, I think I'm starting Javonte.
Garrett, Olave.
What you think about it more though? They're going to be playing from behind against the Bills, you'd imagine. So Broncos have the worst defense in the league, so it'd probably be more of a pass script than a run script. So that gets real tough between Ridley and Javonte. Now that I look at it like that.
Yeah, I mean Javonte had 27 carries last week. He's getting the usage. He scored in the receiving game. I got to take Javonte too, man. I got to do it.
Andrews to the port.
Andrews.
Yards per to the moon, baby. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, buddy. And I don't like this matchup. I personally do not like this matchup with Cleveland. They're tough. They are tough. But Mark Andrews, please remember Mark Andrews, 2 touchdowns, 80 yards against the Browns the first game in Cleveland. We're talking about a tight end, 6 touchdowns through the air. Big part of what they want to do. Obviously, a pivotal part of this offense, big part of the red zone. Andrews has the ability to score. Give me Andrews, although Laporta is another beast. I get it. Anybody playing the Chargers allowing almost 290 passing yards a game, it looks good. It does.
That's what I was just going to get at. That's what makes it so much closer than me. The Browns passing defense, they don't even allow 200 per game, much less we're talking about Lamar Jackson throwing the ball. So they're probably already going to be in that run script against a divisional rival. We're split on this one, but really I don't think it's a game of a thin razor. I would probably go Laporta, given the Chargers have the worst against the pass in the entire league.
That's fair. Just remember though, 5 for 5 for 80 and 2 scores against Cleveland the first time.
This is a whole other game. But yeah, you're right. I'll give respect. Respect is due.
Sure. Give me Lamar Jackson's number 1 target. I need a flex. Douglas, Flowers, Noah Brown, or Boyd. I lean Boyd.
I'm good with Boyd. T. Higgins out. Boyd's going to serve as the 2.
I like this matchup with Houston.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I lean Boyd, then Flowers, then Douglas, then Noah Brown. And again, I do not expect Zay Flowers to get 1 target. I do not.
No.
With the matchup, it's a tough matchup. Cleveland's tough. We all know that. We can't say it any other way.
It's not a secret. Plus, he might be drawing
Bijan sucks ass at him. Dean, I have to respectfully disagree.
Listen,
the talent. It's Arthur Smith.
Listen, Dean. It's easy to look at his numbers on paper and say, okay, he's a bust at the draft spot. He is, but he doesn't suck. All right, it's very much Arthur Smith. He's averaging 5.7 yards per carry. All right, that's not anything to scoff at. As his usage is just shot. I don't know what Arthur Smith thinks he's doing. He's winning games, so I can't really knock him. But Bijan, I'm still on very much so that he is a generational talent at the running back position. He's just stuck with Arthur Smith.
Full PPR, need 2 wide receivers, 2 running back, 2 flexes. That can be wide receiver, running back, tight end. Oh, CD starting, bro.
CD starting for sure. That's the first. That was my first thoughts too.
Get that man in there. CD starting for sure.
All right, so we need 2 receivers. So we got CD as one of the receivers for sure. Tank Dell.
I'm going to go Tank Dell.
Tank Dell for the 2 receivers. And then what we have for running backs, Bijan, Gibbs, Monty, Connor.
Bijan's definitely starting for me.
I'm still starting Bijan. I know it's rough. I'm still starting Bijan. I'm holding out on him.
And so I got CD, Tank Dell, Bijan, going Monty as my running back.
So Monty and Gibbs. You should start both of them.
So we got CD, Tank Dell, Bijan, Monty. I'm starting Laporta.
Laporta is a tight end.
He's got 2 flexes, so he's got to play 2 flexes.
He's 2 flexes. So
we got CD, Tank Dell, Bijan, Monty, Laporta. I need 1 more between Connor, Gibbs, or Kincaid. Or Ridley or London.
I kind of like the London matchup against the Cardinals.
I'm going to take Drake London as well.
Yeah, I like the matchup. I think Taylor Heineke like we said on Tuesday. Well, I said on Tuesday. Steven didn't exactly agree with me, but I think I have more faith with Heineke throwing the ball than I did with Desmond Ridder. I think this should only be a good thing for London. So with it, London.
I agreed with you. I was very happy with
Heineke. I couldn't remember. I didn't want to speak on your behalf.
Yeah, so CD, London, Tank Dell, Bijan, Monty, and Laporta.
Thank you, Mr.
Although, please listen to me. Kincaid is becoming a must start. He is on that path. Absolutely.
So you don't think Kincaid over London? I mean, those are the two I was going between.
Dude, I love the involvement, man. Kincaid is involved. I love it. But no, I'm still taking Laporta. And I'm still taking Drake London.
All right. Tough spot.
Gus Bus for sure. Any chance to get in the end zone with this offense, it's going to be Gus in the red zone. I like Gus here.
Oh, Gus. Yeah. I didn't go all the way through the question.
Shakir, Romeo Dobbs. Damn, our secondary is like Swiss cheese too.
Could also pick up Juju. Oh, yeah. You guys are, I think, at 28th against. So, I mean, that's.
I lean Romeo here. I lean Gus and Romeo Dobbs.
I'm on the same boat. Yeah. Steelers. I hate to say, I mean, the Steelers are so chalk on defense. It's bad, man.
I'm going with Romeo, and I'm going to go with Gus. Wide receiver 3, Jacoby or JSN? JSN. JSN.
Yeah.
And I like Jacoby Myers. I do.
I think this could be. I just said not even 3 minutes ago that JSN is yet to have his breakout game. Commanders have given up 19 passing touchdowns this year. I mean, there's certainly a window there.
Am I wrong for starting Geno over Dobbs this week? I mean, listen, man, that start and the way he came in after Jaren Hall with a concussion was amazing. It was an absolutely amazing game. Dobbs has more rushing upside. There's definitely that factor for sure.
Dobbs' rushing upside is sneaky.
Geno does not have that. Geno has not showed that this year. We have not seen the same Geno. We haven't.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I like this matchup for Geno. And I don't like the New Orleans matchup for Josh Dobbs. I don't. But the higher upside play is probably Dobbs. The safer play is Geno.
Yeah, it's kind of a situation where, like, do you need to win a game, or like can you kind of like scoot by and be all right?
Remember, we have not seen the plethora of weapons at Dobbs' disposal like he has right now.
Oh, he's got monsters. And he's got one of the best coming back next week, hopefully next week in JJ. But I mean, in the meantime, Addison and Hawk is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, I think Geno's safer. I like this Washington matchup a lot. Really do.
Geno's safer, but if you really need to like take a shot and win a game, might lean Dobbs just because the rushing upside. New Orleans doesn't exactly scare me away, to be honest, but
I have Schultz, Kittle, and Taysom Hill. Should I drop Hill and grab KC defense? That's tough to drop. You got 3 tight ends here. The big games for Dalton Schultz have been like few and far between, to be honest with you. Kittle, you can't drop Kittle because it's Kittle. But Taysom Hill these last 4 weeks have looked really good, Freddie. I'm not going to lie to you. I personally think I'd rather drop Schultz, even though I know he just came off a 10 for 130 and a touchdown. Huge game. But the big games seem to disappear from Dalton Schultz for a longer extended period of time. Taysom Hill seems to be a part of this offense, and he seems like he's going to stay. I mean, Schultz does score 4 times, but Hill has scored 4 times in the last 3 weeks. Man, it's tough. Well, they're right back to back, dude. They're tight end 9 and tight end 10. So it's up to personal preference. If I'm looking at the schedule, to be honest with you, I probably would go with Taysom and keep Taysom. But yes, Kansas City defense is playing lights out this year. I would drop Schultz or Hill, but depending on your preference for Kansas City's defense, they are playing lights out.
They're playing lights, but the thing is like they're going to sit on that waiver wire for another week. They're on a bye this week. I would kind of hold out, grab them next. I don't think anybody's going to be screaming to the waiver wire to grab Kansas City defense. They are absolutely on fire this year. I'd give it this week and then see what Schultz does, and then probably drop him after the waiver wire. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, make your decision. I lean Schultz. They're right back to back with their rankings. One's tight end 9, one's tight end 10.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep Hill just for multi-versatility, the way he gets carries in the red zone, the way he can throw a pass or two here or there, the way he gets receiving targets, things like that. I personally like Taysom. What's up, fellas? I just subscribed to the channel. Would you play Saints or Steelers D? We appreciate the subscription.
Thanks for the subscription.
Continuously growing. Almost over 1.7K subscribers. Huge. Would you play the Saints or Steelers defense?
I would not advise starting the Steelers defense ever. They're pretty rough this year. Given it is against the Packers, who have been definitely struggling.
At home, give me the Steelers. Big time moments happen I will never call it Aki Shore, so don't ever ask me to do it. Big time moments happen at Heinz Field. Huge turnover prone QB in Jordan Love. Again, we're back to being a top 5 pass rush with TJ and Alex Highsmith. I know the secondary looks rough, but give me the Steelers defense over the Saints.
I'm with it. The more I think about it, like you get points for sacks, you get points for fumbles, and I mean TJ Watt's a walking monster, so it's
Cam Hayward's back as well.
Yeah,
welcome back Cam.
Yeah, so I'll go Steelers. Even though they give up a ton of yards, I still think just the upside they offer.
Yeah, but we're a bend don't break. We're not top 10 points allowed. Is Bijan a hold or even tradable at this point? Bijan is a hold.
I wouldn't trade him. I don't think he's tradable right now. You're not going to get anywhere near value.
But see, we keep talking about this, but it's just like it's not his fault. The peripherals are there. I mean, guys, we're seeing a guy average over 5 yards per carry. We're seeing a guy who's heavily involved in the receiving game, especially early on. I don't know what's going on right now. We're looking at a guy with 1 rushing touchdown and 2 receiving touchdowns. The touches haven't come when they needed to come. Again, this Falcons offense was also very bad with Desmond Ridder under center. Desmond Ridder was top 3 in the league in turnovers until he got benched. I think Heineke helps this team. Arthur Smith has to get out of his own way. If you're not going to give him the ball, that's unfortunate. But Bijan, it sucks. Yes, Bijan for me is a hold.
Hold.
Deontay or Alexander Madison? Deontay.
Jason, thanks for throwing us a layup. Give me Deontay. Heavy usage since he's came back. Alexander Madison, been nothing but a disappointment, at least for me, this year. Give me Deontay. Keep it pushing.
All right, so add Ridley to this list as well. For my final flex, it should be Gibbs, Connor, Kincaid, Laporta already in my tight end spot. Or Ridley, add Ridley. So Gibbs, Connor, Kincaid, or Ridley.
What a problem to have. Already have Laporta in. Okay.
I'm not going to recommend starting Connor first week off IR. I would wait to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
So again, for me, it's between Kincaid, Gibbs, and Ridley. I'm already going to tell you I'm going to eliminate Ridley because I don't like that what if, huge what if. These rookies have been phenomenal, especially in this last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Say what you want. The late touchdown in the Ravens game for Gibbs, that 27-yard run was explosive. He broke it out. Both defenses are bad. Gibbs involved in the passing game against the worst defense in the league. Kincaid involved in against the second worst passing defense in the league. God damn.
Man, I'm kind of going back and forth between the two.
Yeah, me too.
It's definitely between Gibbs and Kincaid for me. It's so tough.
And it's so hard. It's so hard for me. It's so hard for me personally to start a running back or a tight end over a running back because I am a running back guy. But the usage didn't start until David Montgomery went down with a rib injury. We all know that Dan Campbell loves David Montgomery. It was the same situation with Swift last year.
Yeah.
I got to take the more explosive player. I think Gibbs is a home run threat. I truly do. Absolutely.
It's so tough to say that. It's thin. I was going to say I kind of lean Gibbs too. I'm just so hopeful, and then like he kind of can be what he's supposed to be now. I really do think he pushes for that 50-50 split with Montgomery. I'll give it Montgomery's definitely still going to get those goal line touches, all right? Even dating back to college, Gibbs has never been used in the red zone. But in between the 220s is where he gets his job done. He's such an explosive runner. You watch him play.
Give me Gibbs.
Get the ball in his hands and just let the man work. Give me Gibbs.
Yeah, give me Gibbs. Madison, Lockett, Bijan, Monty. Need one running back, one flex.
Bijan Montgomery? Who says no?
I like this Washington matchup. Lockett averaging just over 12 points a game. Disappointed me a little bit this year. Yeah, I'm going to go Bijan Monty, and I'm going to start Stroud.
I think I'm so hesitant to start Lockett nowadays. I think he's slowly losing his workload to JSN as the season goes on.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bijan Montgomery, and I'm going to start Stroud.
Starting Stroud. For sure, starting Stroud. Bengals, Texans. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Fingers crossed it stays that way, but should be a good game.
Leaning either Kincaid or Gibbs. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough choice. I'm going to go Gibbs. I like them both. It sucks that you have to sit one. It truly is. But I'm going to go with Gibbs.
He does have a point there, though. I mean, having Kincaid going against Josh Allen, I mean, if he throws that touchdown, I mean, he gets thrown right back in his face.
I like the chess match thought, but ultimately, if Gibbs outperforms Kincaid anyway, it won't matter.
I have. And on the other hand, he has Herbert going against
Eckler and
Eckler. Yeah. What a situation.
Should I start Dotson over Adams or Godwin? This is such a rough time in fantasy because we're now talking about starting Jahan Dotson over Devontae Adams. This really makes me sick.
And you're right. I mean, he'll be matched up against Sauce, which, given I wouldn't really normally worry about. But, I mean, last I checked, Aiden O'Connell's still starting this week.
Yep.
Yeah, don't love that. It's going to be rough. But I mean, I would hate to sit here and tell somebody to start Jahan Dotson over David or Devontae Adams.
I mean, guys, look, we're talking about Devontae Adams, who hasn't scored in 6 weeks.
Yeah, O'Connell's not.
I mean, we're talking about nothing like target volume. He had 7 targets the last 2 weeks, but I mean, we're talking about a yardage of 11 and 34 yards back-to-back weeks. Like, this Raiders offense has been terrible to everybody except Josh Jacobs. Has been terrible to everybody.
Yeah.
I can't start Adams.
Jacoby Myers had a few weeks there, but recently it's been just Josh Jacobs.
Like, I can't start him. I just can't do it. I'll be honest with you too. Like, Seattle secondary is pretty solid. I mean, Devon Witherspoon looks really good. Breek Woolen is there.
Breek Woolen already solid. So that's a good one too. They got over there in Seattle.
It's back-to-back weeks with Dotson scoring, man. I'm playing Dotson, man. Back-to-back top 10 finishes. I'm playing Dotson.
Thanks for stopping in, Freddie. Appreciate you, buddy.
I'm going to play Dotson, guys.
Sure. Aiden O'Connell's not going to do it as a fantasy provider. I feel bad for Adams. Such a prolific receiver in this league, kind of being strapped to nothing.
Flex Connor or Godwin. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to flex Godwin because I don't know what kind of usage Connor gets coming back from this injury. So give me Godwin.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And you really don't know how this Cardinals offense is going to look in general, given this is Kyle Murray's first game back from ACL. Give it a week. Give it a week for James Conner. I'll go Godwin too.
Yeah. Beach in the second half, I think, will get more work. They just put Arthur Smith on the hot plate. I think he knows he has to change something in one. I hope you're right, man, because Bijan's been rough for anybody that's drafted him first round, early second round. It's been a rough go. And it's not his fault. We all know that. Tank Dell, Addison, or D-Hop? Tank.
Done. What's the Titans matchup? Bucks. Addison with Dobbs. That's a tough one.
Bucks are 31st in the league.
Bucks. I was going to say Bucks give up a lot.
Yeah, give me Tank Dell. Yeah, give me Tank Dell and D-Hop.
Yeah. Plus, him and Will Levis kind of seem to have got it going on. So
yeah, give me Tank Dell and D-Hop. Debo or Puka rest of the season?
Steve, I don't let you take this one, buddy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It comes down to Matt Stafford's thumb.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like you can even look at it like Brock Purdy hasn't really looked fantastic.
Brock Purdy hasn't looked good.
He hasn't looked great the last 3 weeks now. He's been kind of like brought back down to earth.
Man, that's a tough question, man. That is a very tough question. Oh man. And it's not like the target volume has fallen off for Puka. It hasn't.
No.
It hasn't. I'm going to go with Puka. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm a Puka. I'm on Puka's side. But I'm such a I hate to say it because I don't like to bring in personal matter to this, but Debo doesn't really move the needle for me that much. I think in McVay's offense, Puka's getting those targets. Just get Matt Stafford back under center. Get that thumb right.
Yeah.
I think he'll be the better quarterback rest of the season over Purdy. Give me Puka.
You like Jerome Ford or Garrett Wilson for a flex? Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson.
Pollard, Jacobs, or JT? So I'm starting Pollard here. Obviously, show of faith because Jacobs has been really good the last 2 weeks. Taylor's getting back involved. We're starting to get rolling here. It's tough.
See, normally this would be very easy for me because I would just say Jacobs and Taylor, but Pollard's going against the Giants this week. So that changes so much.
Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm going with Jacobs. I'm going with Taylor. I'm going with Jacobs, going with Taylor.
Man, dude. I'll ride with you on this one. I'll ride with you.
I'm riding with Jacobs.
I kind of lean Pollard and Taylor.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. I can't do it with Pollard over these two backs.
Fair. That's totally fair. And if it wasn't the Giants, it would be easy Jacobs, Taylor for me. But I think Pollard the juicy-ass matchup this week.
Would you cut Goddard? If I don't do the bye weeks, I have to cut either Flowers, Rasheed Rice, or Gabe Davis. 4 weeks, possibly more. Tough call. Seems
if you're still in here, what do you is Goddard like? Who's your other tight end? I would imagine you have like another guy. We'll come back to that. If he's here, then we'll adjust it. But I gotta know there's another tight end there before I advise anything.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna cut Gabe Davis. I'll hold Goddard for the playoff run.
Whole guy for the playoff run. Could feel tough for Chase Stevenson.
Never mind. I gotta take that back. I don't know.
I need to have context. Part of me thinks just keep Goddard. I know the usage has been rough. It's not something you want to see. He's on a bye week this week, so it's an easy chance to like get him off your roster.
Actually, I don't need context. I'll cut Goddard. Yeah, I'll cut Goddard. Play this week. I don't know. Huge investigation going on, throwing bricks through people's windows. I don't know. What do you think his future holds from the NFL? I'll be honest with you. We've come a long way since 2019 with Michael Thomas. That 149 catch season was something that has absolutely changed the NFL landscape. He did something that I never thought would be broken. I thought Marvin Harrison's record was going to stand forever, but it didn't.
Yeah, thanks, Drew Brees.
But I will say this. Michael Thomas is done. He'll never be the Michael Thomas we thought he would be.
Yeah.
He's done.
I think he's about out the window. I do think that these we'll see if the team takes action. I think he does play. Typically these things take months, sometimes years to play out, especially when it comes down to these like court legal things. They tend to always give the player benefit of the doubt. So I think he'll play. As far as his future goes, with his getting up there in age, with all these lingering injuries and all this stuff, I think it's a ticking time bomb to begin with.
Yeah.
I think he'll struggle to find a roster once he's off contract. He's about done.
Yeah, I don't see him ever being a guy that sneaks into the top 10 rounds of fantasy drafts ever again. He's not really relevant. I mean, yeah, he's averaging over 10 points per game. Cool. Maybe a little filler here if you're hurt at the wide receiver position, but nothing special.
Yeah.
You're not lying. You guys have really brought the heat today.
I like it. That's what we're here for, baby.
Brought the heat. Alex, thank you for stopping in, brother. Stevenson for Adams. Nah, don't feel bad. Stevenson was playing rough too. Stevenson just looked really good these last 2 weeks. Don't feel bad, man. It's just Devontae. It's not Devontae. This is the situation. It's not him.
Still has Bijan Pollard, A-Chain, so
yeah, it's not anything you did. I mean, Devontae Adams is one of the best wide receivers that we've seen play the game in quite some time. So
yeah.
Pick one to start.
God. Tank. I'm starting Tank here. Just simple as that. Kenneth Walker is starting to scare me. Charbonne's eating in. They're getting to that 50-50 split that you really hate to see for running backs.
Man, the negative game scripts the last 2 weeks that they've had, it hasn't. People are looking at an underlying context. Yes, he has. And Ken Walker, yeah. Ken Walker has been battling injuries the last 3-4 weeks. Like it. Washington. God damn it. Fuck, man.
Washington. Right?
Yes. I'm starting.
Great question. Thank you. Thank you for the great question. First of all, I appreciate it. It's a tough week out here. Man, all right, we're all struggling.
They're giving up 117 rushing yards a game. Man,
Kenneth Walker does like to find the end zone. I'll take you know what? Screw it. Give me Ken Walker. I'm a big Ken Walker guy. Charbonne's eating in, but I still think he gets the goal line touches for the most part. That's what I'm saying,
dude. These last 2 weeks, people are taking these out of context. We're talking about a Cleveland game. We're talking about the Ravens in Baltimore down 37-3. Like, now give me Ken Walker. I'm not doing this today.
You're yeah. Full PPR.
Yeah. And dude, Tank Dell is a start this week for sure. If you can get him into your lineup somehow, please do. But this Ken Walker disrespect is a little outrageous. Laporta or Schultz? Laporta.
Laporta. Look, I know, we're coming off a massive game for Schultz. We were talking about it earlier in this show. Schultz games are so up and down. Laporta has been consistent all season. You know what you're getting out of Laporta. I'm throwing Laporta out there, especially against the Chargers, who give up an obscene amount of passing yards per game. Give me Laporta.
This is easy for me. Should I trade Stroud and Collins for Lamb? Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. CeeDee Lamb is that guy.
Yeah, because you get to add with well, first of all, you kind of get to, you're stuck with Higgins, who's been disappointing this year. Stroud's, you have Josh Allen, who Stroud's playing out of his mind, but Josh Allen's still going to be a week-to-week better player than Stroud.
Josh Allen's still QB. Yeah, Josh Allen's still QB2 in fantasy overall. Yeah. Let's look past the turnovers. Yeah. We don't care about that in fantasy. In real life, yes, we care about that. But
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
I'm good with it. I'm taking Lamb in that deal. Go for it with Diggs, Lamb, Cooper, Devontae.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks, Dak is on fire. QB3 overall in fantasy points per game the last 3 weeks. Look at CeeDee's receiving yardage. Look at his targets. Look at his catches. Look at everything. Two touchdown game in that 158-yard game. Comes back with 16 targets, 11 catches for 191. Yeah, it's not a question.
23 touches the last 10 games. We touched on it on our Tuesday show, in case you guys missed it.
Yeah.
CeeDee has not one of the best wide receiver schedule left. So now would be the perfect time to trade for CeeDee. And then you don't have to sit here and think to yourself. You don't have to sit there and look at Stroud on your bench every week going off.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's actually relatively cheap for CeeDee.
Since we're one QBR league.
Yeah, since we're one QB leagues. Yeah. Yep. Tough question, man. You threw me for a loop there. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have Hurst and Tua as my QBs. They're both on buys. Goff, Howe, Mayfield, T-Law, Dobbs, and Russell Wilson are top QBs on waivers. Who should I pick up? Goff.
Goff.
Although I like Sam Howell, but Goff.
Goff against the Chargers, man. Like I said, worst pass defense in the league. I think we'll end up eating.
I'll be honest with you. I think Goff has now played his way into being a starting QB in 2024 and 2025, even with his egregious contract. Jared Goff looks good.
Yeah, Jared, not good. He looks great. He looks great in this Detroit offense. Who would have thought? I think when get the initial trade for Goff to go to the Lions, you kind of look at it like, but he's gonna be a bridge guy. And then you see this connection he gets going with Amonra, and it's been a beautiful thing. Goff out there, he's established himself back into the league.
Yeah, exclude the Ravens game because that was tough. I mean, they just got pulled out.
Yeah.
So Goff. We're an hour into it, buddy.
Hour into it. This is my cutoff point.
Yeah, I just want to say this before we get out of here. If there's any last minute questions, let's drop them right now. And if not, then this is where we're going to sign off. And Ryan, look at all the participation, bro. Man, it's been such a good time.
I love these, dude.
I love them.
Seriously, anybody that stopped by, we appreciate you so much. We're going to try and be here every Saturday. We started late today. We apologize for anybody that was expecting us at 9.
Yeah, blame that man on the right side of the screen, however you're looking at it. I don't know who decides to go out on a Saturday night and not have dinner reservations for a 6:30 dinner time, but that happened tonight, just so you know.
Sometimes things aren't perfect. Who needs reservations when you have great friends?
True that. On top of that, though, guys, Alex, I'm sorry that we had to push it back and go live when you were going live. Unfortunately, that's how it worked. But hey, everybody's been saying it. Yards per fantasy team to the moon. Absolutely. We're so thankful to be a part of this organization. Almost 1.7K subscribers and growing.
Yeah.
Almost 1.7K subscribers. and we joined, Ryan, it was at 1.2K. We have now seen that kind of growth.
Yep. We're here, baby.
We're here.
We ain't going nowhere, too. We're going up.
Tommy DeVito must start. If you're starting Tommy DeVito, good luck. Actually, I'm starting Tommy DeVito. I'm starting him in the Scott Fish Bowl. God bless me.
Dude, if I'm being honest with you, man, just before we get off of this, I just want to say this. As a Giants fan, I would rather start a position player in my super flex spot over Tommy DeVito. If I'm being honest with you.
Hey, bud. Scott Fish, extreme scoring for QBs. Maybe Tommy DeVito sneaks in the end zone.
He ain't sneaking in for shit.
Buddy, what do you mean do? Buddy, I lost Daniel Jones for the year. I've already lost Dobbins. I've already lost Daniel Jones. I've already lost a lot in Scott Fish. I need to make the playoffs.
Hey, man. Do what you got to do, bud.
Eric, I want to tell you thank you too, man, because I see your name in here all the time. I see a lot of people in here all the time. Sleepy is one of them too. First question of the night. I know we might have missed him because it was a 9:00 start time for 9:30. Gerald as well. A lot of you guys
always
we see
in
here all the time.
Yep.
Always in here. We appreciate you. You guys are the reason we do this, that we come back. And remember this, Yards Per, one of the biggest growing organizations in the fantasy game. Work with these guys. They're the best. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't see the coach approach, if you don't see Alex, you see us, we appreciate you because they're hard to compete with and they're very good.
Oh, yeah. They're already – I mean, me and Steven kind of trailblazing, so this is why we're so appreciative for these big streams having this show out is we're trying to catch up to them. They're already way ahead of us. They took a chance on us bringing us into the team. We're chasing some great guys. So if you're here watching us, please take the time, go watch Coach Approach, go watch Alex, especially once we log off of this. I'm sure Alex is still live. He's covering the running back position tonight. Go check that out. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, also before we get off here, Twitter's, you know what I'm saying, pointing this, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Twitters are there below. All the questions that we've answered, we love feedback. Please bring the feedback. Feel free to follow me. Feel free to follow Ryan. Feel free to DM us. Feel free to tell us what we did good. Feel free to tell us what we did bad because we're not 100%. Granted, we hit on a lot of these start-sit shows, but we don't hit everything.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. Shoo. Yeah, I just blinked.
Thanks, Alex. Have a good night, buddy. I'm out, guys. Have a good night. Take care.
On that note, guys, we're going to sign off of here. We'll be back Tuesdays. But on that note, that's going to wrap us up, Brian. We're out, buddy.
See you later.